I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to keep 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a vision. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. They'll drop to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A little juke, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Back to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here comes the Bears punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Fields. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. A good pickup there at 22.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now a handoff looking right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch him now, Barney! Check back, six. All right, now, lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll run it right through it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
No, check.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Fields eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll look to throw here. Steps away to his left. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Fullback trying to push the pile. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
To throw on second down. Fields finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be third down.
Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. From the gun, Fields. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. They shakes him off. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. He's got a first down past the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Back to Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
They go play action here on first down. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for. That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Bears on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Able to spin free. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
Throwing on 1st down. Fields, room to run past midfield. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Watch him now, Barney! Detroit! Hot!
Throwing again. Fields. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Now they'll run it on the toss. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. third down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part went to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again to the fullback on the dive. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Gun.
On 1st down, Fields. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Fields. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 13 yards and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And they'll run it here. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Now they try the right side here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now a handoff looking right. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Detroit! Hot!
Off play action. Fields. And now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. operating from the gun. Fields. And this is going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Normally, when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back, because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. And Marshall's got it. 18 yards there and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over. All right, now, lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Two 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. 23 yards on the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And on the ground they go with a running back. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. From the gun, Fields. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The Packers unable to pick up the 1st. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And his kick is indeed good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Gone! Detroit!
Off the play fake. Fields. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Fields. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Lucky 56.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bears, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it, as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.